Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So we are continuing with our playlist on international trade finance. Today's topic is EXIM Export Import Bank of India. Now let's start learning. If you like the video, do hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. That would be really motivating and supportive. Let's start with the introduction part to EXIM Bank of India. As the name mentions, it stands for Export Import Bank of India. It is a specialized financial institution owned by Government of India that was established in the year 1982 under the Act Export Import Bank of India Act. Now, before proceeding with the other slides and the content, let's get an idea why was it established and what was the real need for this Export Import Bank. So, Export Import Bank, it was created to promote India's export in the global market. Our country at that time was having business, there were exporters ready to compete in the global market. We were full of resources, but there was a lack for financial and support which can be provided to the exporters. Now, if you want to compete at a global level, if you are running a business, you are having a very good idea, but you need a backup for the financial support if you want to excel in that particular business. Now, that financial support can be provided to the exporters of India. That financial support can be provided to boost the economy of India in the global scenario by aligning all the businesses, the exporters, the resources to compete in the global market. This bank was created with the sole motive to provide financial, logistics, consultancy, and all the supports that can be required by the exporters who are engaged in the trade business at a global level. So there was a need for the establishment of Export Import Bank. As we will move on to the functions of Export Import Bank, we will understand that how bank help the exporters, how bank help the businessmen who are involved in trade finance by providing them various financial options, by providing them the fund that is required to run the business at that particular moment of time to not lose on any global opportunity. The bank's primary function is to finance, facilitate, and promote India's international trade by providing a wide range of financial services to Indian exporters and importers. In my previous videos, we learnt about various regulations like the FEMA regulations, the FEDI guidelines, all the policies that are governing, that are created to run the trade business smoothly. But EXIM Bank was created with the motive to provide financial support to the businesses, to help the businesses get an idea about the international market. The bank also provides a range of advisory and support services to Indian businesses looking to expand their international operations. So as I said, not just providing financial support, it also provides advisory and support services to Indian businesses so that they can compete in global markets, so that they can expand their business, so that they can carry on with their international operations. So let's move on to functions of EXIM Bank. This will make you more clear about what all functions are being performed by Export Import Bank and how this helped the businesses to grow at a global level. So first is financing. Let's read it out first. EXIM Bank provides financial assistance to Indian exporters and importers in form of pre-shipment and post-shipment credit, buyer's credit, lines of credit, and project export finance. Now, in simple words, if we say that EXIM Bank was providing loan to the exporters. Now, exporters who are engaged in trade finance, and as we are talking about international trade, there is huge involvement of risk, there is huge involvement of fund, and there is a timeline, because the goods to be shipped from one country to another country take a particular time, and then to get back the payments, also the services and the goods which are being shipped is at the credit facility. It is not being, the cash transaction is not being done, it is on the credit basis. So financing becomes equally more important, and there is requirement for loan. Many of the businesses, they were losing out on the opportunities because they were not having a proper support, a proper financial backup to guide on that. Now EXIM Bank started providing loan to those exporters who wanted to excel at the global level. For taking very small examples, that if exporter wanted loan for production of the goods, if they wanted loan for packaging of goods, it was provided in the form of pre-shipment finance. And then there was post-shipment finance provided, as on if the goods are sold by the exporter on credit and the payment will be received on a later date. So loan was provided so that the business can be managed meanwhile until the payment is received. So loans were provided by EXIM Bank to these exporters so that they can manage their business, they can align their business without losing out on the opportunities. Also, the EXIM Bank started providing loan in foreign currency to ease out the trade, because we are talking about international trade when the exporters are dealing with the importers who are settled in, for example, US or Japan. There are different foreign currencies. Now, they wanted to get the loan in the same foreign currency for the ease of operation, and at once they can convert the same into Indian rupee, because every time taking the conversion, going through the hassle process was not convenient. So they can have their loan in that particular currency so that the transactions can be eased out and the payment can be made as and when after the conversion done. So EXIM Bank was also providing the loans in foreign currency. Now let's move on to export marketing. So EXIM Bank provides advisory services and support to Indian exporters in identifying new markets and expanding their international trade. So along with providing financial backup, EXIM Bank also provided advisory services, because the bank was making research, getting an idea at a global level that how the market scenario is going on, how expansion of business is going on in the international market. So EXIM Bank provided a role of advisory services to the exporters settled in India by letting them identify the new markets, by getting them idea about the expansion of their business in the international trade. So a kind of support was also given to the exporters by the EXIM Bank. Third is export credit insurance. Now, when we are talking about international trade, as we know that the risk involvement is also huge, because both the party, the buyer and the seller, or what we say the importer and the exporter, they are settled in different countries. Now, if the goods are shipped and the payment is not done, there is risk involved. If the goods are shipped but the goods are damaged in between the transportation, again there is risk. Who will bear that cost? So risk of non-payment, risk of loss of goods, all need to be insured. And EXIM Bank, Export-Import Bank, it started providing export credit insurance. So it offered insurance to exporters, because there is always a risk involved, related to what if the payment is not received, what if the goods are not shipped properly. So insurance provided a kind of risk cover, so that in any of such situations, in any of such unexpected situation, there can be a financial backup provided to the exporters and then importers involved in the trade transactions. Then there is lines of credit. EXIM Bank extends lines of credit to overseas entities, including governments, financial institutions, commercial banks, to promote India's export and support the development of infrastructure. So you can see that Export-Import Bank, when we are talking about the facilities that it is providing, the loans that it is providing, the advisory services and other support services that it is providing, it is not just limited to an individual businessman. It is not just limited to a particular institution. It has been expanded. The lines of credit has been expanded to overseas entities, overseas companies, then the government, the financial institutions, the commercial banks. The lines of credit are extended to those also, so that the India's export and the proper development of infrastructure can be supported. Then there is project finance. EXIM Bank provides project finance to Indian companies for executing overseas projects. especially in developing countries to support India's international business interest. Now, you know that when we talk about trade transactions, which is one time or which is which won't involve a longer period of time, then providing that support, providing that financial backup is a bit more easier as compared to the project finance. When we are talking about overseas project, that will be involving a huge period of time, a longer period of time, and the projects are completed part wise. So if financing is involved, it again involves a huge risk when it comes to financing a particular project, and again the project is based on any other country, it is not in the same country. So Export Import Bank, it's decided to finance those kind of project because many Indian companies were hesitant enough that what if the proper support is not provided, that financial backup is not provided. So Export Import Bank was designed in a way to support those project finance, and it proved to be really helpful for the Indian businesses in representing in the global countries to carry out all the overseas projects. Coming to SME financing, Export Import banks provide financing and advisory services to small and medium sized enterprises in India to help them enter the international market and grow their business. So, EXIM Bank supported SMEs, small and medium businesses, by providing that financial assistance, by providing that advisory, because these small and medium businesses, they are important for India's economic growth, and also they form a large part as compared to the large companies. These small and medium sized companies, they form a large part of the economical growth of the country. So, EXIM Bank started providing the term loans for purchase of machinery, expansion of production capacity, investment in any technology upgradation. It also provided working capital loans to SMEs to manage their day-to-day business, like the stock requirements, the raw materials, the labors, etc. So all the long-term loan and the short-term loans both were provided by the EXIM Bank to small and medium enterprises to help them grow their international trade transactions, in turn which will grow our Indian economy. Policy advocacy. So EXIM Bank, it works closely with government department, including that Ministry of Commerce, to advocate for policies that can be favorable to Indian exporters, that can be in support of the Indian exporters. EXIM Bank also often participates in international conferences, representing in international forums to represent the same. So, policy advocacy is again a function of Export Import Bank. Collaboration. Export Import Bank collaborates with other institutions both in India and overseas to promote and facilitate India's international trade and investment. EXIM Bank also has performed certain CSR activities, that is corporate social responsibilities program, that focuses on education, healthcare, environment and community development. If we have to take certain examples, so Export Import Banks, it conducts financial literacy and education workshops which are helpful for the Indian businesses to grow in the international trade market. It also provides support to the self-help groups that are formed, the micro entrepreneurs, and it promotes digital payments and the green and renewable energy, which are some of the examples of CSR program which is conducted by Export Import Bank. Trade research. So it conducts research on trade policies, global market trends, economic conditions, etc., so that it can provide valuable insights which can help in taking the correct decision, which will again be in favor of the country's economic development. Now, let's see confirmation of LC by EXIM Bank under Global Trade Finance Program. So, starting with the first one, applying for LC, getting the involvement of GTFP, that is Global Trade Finance Program, LC issuance to shipment and documents, confirmation, and the final payment. So we will talk about it, how EXIM Bank is involved in confirmation of LC. LC I have already covered in one of my video. If you have any sort of confusion in what letter of credit means, how does it work, you can watch that video. Please go through the link to the playlist. It is provided in the description box at the end of this video. Also, you can check over there. There will be in content the letter of credit. Go through that video to get a basic idea about how the LC process is conducted and why it is such a popular payment method in international trade finance. So Export-Import Bank is also involved by providing confirmation of letter of credit under the GTFP, which is Global Trade Finance Program. So we will see a simple process flow in which you can understand that how this works, how Export-Import Bank is involved in the confirmation in providing confirmation for a particular LC. Now suppose there are two parties, a buyer and a seller. There is a sales agreement which is done between the seller and buyer. So here seller is exporter, buyer is importer. Now the payment method that they have choose is letter of credit. Letter of credit, which is issued by a bank, provides a guarantee that if the buyer will not be making the payment, the bank will come in place and will make the payment. So it kind of assures that I will be making the payment in behalf of the buyer only if the buyer fails to do that. So letter of credit does provide an assurance, a kind of guarantee. Now, suppose that the sales agreement is done between the importer and the exporter. The importer is settled in India and the exporter is in some other country, for example, US. So, the agreement is final. They have decided on the payment methods, letter of credit. Now, the importer who is based in India, he will be applying for the LC from EXIM Bank. Again, EXIM Bank is located in India only. Okay, so I forgot to mention that EXIM Bank is actually having its headquarters in Mumbai, Maharashtra, where it is located. So, importer applies for that letter of credit from EXIM Bank. Now, EXIM Bank under GTFP will be collaborating with a foreign bank. So, GTFP, Global Trade Finance Program. Under this program, EXIM Bank will be making a collaboration with the foreign bank. Why the involvement of foreign bank is necessary over here? Because our exporter is settled in a foreign country. So because the exporter is settled in some other country, there will be a requirement of the bank which would be closely associated with that particular foreign supplier or the exporter. Now, the foreign bank will be providing guarantee to EXIM Bank to pay if importer cannot pay. So, foreign bank is getting involved under this GTFP program and is providing guarantee to the Export-Import Bank that if the importer will fail to make the payment to the exporter, I am taking the guarantee of making that payment. On the basis of that particular guarantee under this GTFP program, EXIM Bank agrees to issue the LC to the exporter. Now, LC is issued in the favor of exporter, promising to pay when LC conditions are met. So, only there are certain terms and conditions which are very precisely defined in letter of credit. And those terms and conditions need to be complied by the exporter, that the document should be in a proper way. All the documents should be there. So, there are different documents involved in a foreign trade transaction. It is your transportation documents like bill of lading, airway bill. It can be your certificate of origin, giving an idea about from where the goods are coming. Then there could be documents like the invoice, the packaging list, which will give an idea about what all are the goods, and then what is the content, the weight of that particular good, what is the amount that needs to be paid in this particular transaction. So all those documents are precisely mentioned in LC, that how it needs to be submitted, and all that terms and conditions should be met. Only if the LC letter of credit terms and conditions are met, then only the payment is done and the LC is issued. So exporter ships the goods and provide necessary documents to the foreign bank. So as decided, the exporter, which is settled in some other country, it would be shipping the good to India to our importer and will be providing all the necessary documents as mentioned in LC terms and conditions to the foreign bank that was involved. Now foreign bank will be forwarding the same documents to the EXIM Bank after checking the documents, after checking that all the documents are as per the terms and conditions which were mentioned in the LC. After checking that, the foreign bank will send the documents to the Export-Import Bank. Export-Import Bank here will be providing confirmation to the LC. That's why we said that this is a process where Export-Import Bank is providing a confirmation. So Export-Import Bank is providing the confirmation to LC only if all the documents are correct. And then Export-Import Bank promises to pay the foreign bank. The foreign bank pays the supplier using LC confirmation from EXIM Bank. So in this case, we are talking about a normal transaction where importer has made the payment. So importer has not defaulted on the payment, has made the payment, and thus the EXIM Bank on behalf of the importer has paid the foreign bank, and foreign bank has forwarded the same payment to the EXIM Bank. Now importer has received the goods and the transaction is settled. The money, when it is paid by the importer, it is received by the EXIM Bank which made the payment. In case you have any confusion in this process flow, again I recommend please go through the video that I uploaded on letter of credit. Also, if you have any doubt related to this video, if you want to know more about Export-Import Bank, any confusion, any sort of question, you can ask me in comment section. I would be really happy to answer those questions and hear from you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.